Thank you, Elton. Good afternoon, everybody. Torsvin in goal then, 51 caps for Norway. You don't pronounce the H in his name, incidentally. Taking over, as Elton says, from Bobby Mims. 2 is 19-year-old Guy Butters. 3 is Chris Houghton, who returns after a knee injury to replace Mitchell Thomas. 4 is Terry Fenwick. 5, the former Nottingham Forest defender, Chris Fairclough. 6 is Gary Mabbott, the Tottenham captain. 7 is Paul Walsh. 8 is Gunni Bergson, the Icelandic international. 9 is Chris Worrell. 10 is Paul Stewart. And number 11 is Paul Allen. Spurs seeking to shake off that cup defeat at Bradford. Maybe striker Paul Stewart will help them out. Here's one of the goals he scored on that snowy surface at Hillsborough, live on ITV. A splendid goal it was. All right, let's check in on the Nottingham Forest side with Steve Sutton in goal. Number 2, Brian Laws, signed in the summer from Middlesbrough. 3 is Stuart Pearce, the skipper. 4, Des Walker, a key defender, recovered from a back injury in midweek. 5 is Terry Wilson. 6, well known to Spurs fans, is Steve Hodge. He had a couple of seasons here. 7 is Franz Carr, the flying winger. 8, the England international, Neil Webb. 9 is Nigel Clough. He returns. He's in because Tommy Gaynor's got a knee injury. 10 is Lee Chapman. And 11 is Gary Parker. Referee is Neil Midgley, waiting to get this game underway. The substitutes, incidentally, Paul Gascoigne and David Howells for Tottenham. Paul Gascoigne had a test on an ankle injury this morning and passed it. And Steve Chettle and Phil Starbuck are the Nottingham Forest substitutes. Forest in the all-red strip lane, attacking the goal to our left. In goes Nigel Clough, and Lee Chapman on his way very quickly, crossing the ball in. Hodge almost in, and the former Forest man, Chris Fairclough, getting it away, but a good and impressive early break there by Forest, and particularly by Lee Chapman. Franz Carr will take the corner for the visitors. Wilson's in there, but it's Fairclough again. Carr, space here, look at it. We're making good use of it. And Parker really should have put that one in. The goalkeeper was left floundering, and Forest really could so easily have been a goal up in the opening minute of this game. And if you want to guess who they are, well, we just look at this. Carr now playing it in for Parker. He's got him behind them, and the shot comes off the post, and Fenwick puts it behind. It's a real torrid time in that goal for Eric Thorstad at the moment. A great shot by Parker coming back off the woodwork. And Forest so unlucky now not to be 2 up. Keeper beaten to the wide. Both the chances falling to Parker, one that he really should have put away early on. So if you just joined us with about 8 minutes gone, it's still 0-0. Carr playing that one in. And a tremendous goal there. No, disallowed Brian Laws. There was an offside. That would have been his first goal for Forest, and struck beautifully. But the linesman had spotted an offside, and Forest are unlucky. Ball knocked out there to the number 2 Laws. Yes, and you can see the referee and linesman exactly right. There was a red shirt beyond the last defender. Free kick to Forest. It's a really impressive start this by them, Paul.
Yes, actually, just looking at that decision there, I think that's the most controversial decision in football, that whether it is offside or not, or whether it's interfering with play. You know, I think if I'd hit a ball like that as well as what Lowe's did, I'd have been disappointed if it had been disallowed.
Stuart, a big busters forward from the old-fashioned school. Pearce getting it away. Allen now feeding Bergson. Waddle turning it back. And Walker doing some emergency action there for Nottingham Forest as the ball looked likely to fall invitingly for Stewart. Free kick to Forest. Here's Pearce. Butters. Now Clough. Tease a mistake out of Fairclough. Sweeper, Fenwick was there, but only as far as Pearce, who's got it back again this time from Parker. And a goal kick. Fairclough's throw for Tottenham. Pearce's header away into the path of Mavitt. Walsh went into trouble there. Now Gary Parker. Oh, a lovely ball. Chapman now faced with the goalkeeper, and the Spurs defence wide open, and he's missed it. Oh, that was a terrible miss. But also big question marks against that Tottenham defence. Look at that as being wide open, and he delayed it just too long. And another glorious chance has gone spinning away for Nottingham Forest. This is the camera on the other side of the field giving a different angle, but the same result. Over Francis.
Well, it was a bad miss, but Tottenham were playing with a sweeper, and you have to ask the question, where was he?
Exactly. Terry Fenwick's back in position now, but it was a delightful ball played in by young Gary Parker. Now Allen. Walsh. Wilson. Parker. Used to be at Luton Town and then Hull City. Here he is finding Webb. Parker again. And this time Webb's offside. It's hard to see how the Spurs could be carved so wide open, as you say, with Fenwick as their sweeper, with Butters and Fairclough playing just ahead of him, and Bergson and Houghton away on the flanks. They're certainly defending in numbers, Trevor.
Got enough named back, yes, but it's the midfield players from Nottingham Forest who are making the runs forward and not being tracked down.
So we'll watch for the likes of Webb and Parker. And the Spurs now take this free kick. Waddle and Fenwick behind it. It's going to be Waddle floating it in. Butters on the far side. Stewart turning it back. Walsh almost getting in. Paul Allen trying to as well. Bergson having a shot charged down right at the last there by Stuart Pearce. A victory for Coventry at Norwich, and an absolutely stunning goal from Liam Brady for West Ham, all at half-time. Here's Nigel Clough with the free kick. And Hodge getting on this one. It's Wilson right in there, and an excellent piece of goalkeeping right on his line by Torsvet. But a very well-worked free kick by Forest, with Hodge playing his part here, Wilson just ducking in with the header there, and the goalkeeper pouncing on it. Now Allen bringing it away, Pearce gets it back to Steve Sutton. Up goes Chapman, whizzed it in the air. Clough can't collect because it's with Terry Fenwick. Walsh. From Stewart, Paul Allen, and Waddle! Now Stewart! Two great pieces of goalkeeping, and three by Steve Sutton. What fabulous keeping there. And the crowd were applauding both the Spurs players and that incredible piece of work by the Nottingham Forest goalkeeper. Paul Allen here lays the ball for Waddle. And now Stewart looks as though he might have a go. And Sutton refused to be beaten. Still 0-0. And now it's really warming up. Here's Bergson now for Tottenham. A deep cross, too deep, and a goal kick. Steve Sutton seems to save his best for live TV. Remember, he saved a penalty against Arsenal live on TV earlier this season. 27 years old. How can the side only lead Chapman at 28 is older? Hodge trying to get Webb away, and now it's really beginning to open up. Webb playing it in. Chapman couldn't gather. And Brian Laws, a little flick on. And Parker, it's in there! Gary Parker for Nottingham Forest. After they threatened 2 or 3 times to get the ball into the Tottenham net, and Parker uppermost amongst them. Shot on the turn, Trevor Francis.
Well, it came from the point that I was making about 20 minutes ago. Bergson is not aware of players coming in from behind, and we saw 3 occasions when Parker got in early on in the game, and once again there he got in behind him on the blind side, and you know, deservedly put Forest into the lead.
As you say, deservedly, they'd had much the better of that opening half hour, but how ironic when Spurs had threatened so hard, and but for Sutton would have been ahead. Within a minute or so, Spurs find themselves behind. Here's Webb. Pearce. Webb again. Now Nigel Clough. Long-range shot! Through the keeper's arms! A terrible mistake by Torsvedt, and it's 2-0. Well, that's a nightmare start for the Norwegian. That fell almost gently through his arms. Nigel Clough, a real howler, and Forest go 2 ahead. So 2 goals in the space of a minute there for Nottingham Forest. And a tough debut now for the Norwegian international Erik Thorstvedt. Parker 32, Clough 33. Steve Hodge, and now Pearce. Time it was deflected. Forest corner. Trevor Francis.
Yes, well, Tottenham now have got about 10 minutes before half-time, and it's very, very important now that they don't fold. They've got to stick in there and keep it to 2-0, because if they go another goal down now, 3-0, the game will be beyond them.
Parker with the corner for Forest, a flick on. Tough for the keeper there.
Well, it doesn't need for me to comment. You can't help but feel sorry for a keeper when he makes a mistake like that.
Hodge, finding Parker. Oh! Well, Webb was nearly in for the 3rd, and that time Thorstvedt was rooted to his line. Well, that'll be amazing to see this again. You'll see the goalkeeper stops absolutely rooted there. And that was so nearly number 3. And Tottenham's misery piles up. Easily by Parker. There's Carr on the far side. A delightful ball there by Parker for him. Now has he got a trick to beat Houghton? Oh, that time the keeper saved. Forest are rampant at the moment. Hodge, Parker, Pearce wants a bit of the action. Hodge, the flag is up. He got well to it and pushed it away. From Franskar. That's Philip. Finick again. Turn there by Paul Allen. Walsh, will Allen go all the way? He's taken it too wide. Abbott trying to get in there. Kicked away there by Steve Hodge. Terrific shot by Mabbott. Looked as though it at least pulled one back, and still Hodge intervened. But Tottenham get a corner. Parker gently lobs it away to Carr. Here's Webb now, taking it in his stride. And there are two men free on this side of the field. Chapman offside though against Parker.
They'd have to agree with the Spurs players on that one.
Wilson. Ross waiting in the middle. Waddle's in there! A thundering header there from Chris Waddle. Great work by Paul Allen. And that's put Spurs back in it. Waddle suddenly arriving on the scene there with a really firm header. Sutton beaten at last. Spurs 1, Nottingham Forest 2. Good cross. Terrific header by Waddle.
Just the fillip that Spurs needed just before half-time. Great cross by Paul Allen, but I was very interested in the run that Chris Waddle made. Started his run from the 18-yard line and a great header.
Right, very late indeed, and has really set up the second half now. Half throw for Tottenham. Wilson gets it away for Nottingham Forest. Houghton. And Stewart met it with his head, just wide of that Forest post. Come out looking a revived side, Trevor.
Yes, that was a magnificent ball from Chris Waddle. Difficult ball for the keeper to handle because it was curling away from him all the time.
Stewart meeting it without a great deal of conviction, but nonetheless it just went wide of that post. Gascoigne can now jazz things up a little bit for Tottenham. Through the midfield and up front, just listen to the roar of applause he's getting. He's missed 3 games with ankle ligament trouble and has got a really nasty scar on his right shin as well, which he received in training this week. And now let's see what he can do. Free kick to Nottingham Forest.
Well, Terry Venables certainly had to take a defender off to gamble a little bit by bringing on Gascoigne. But the man he's put on Franz Carr is Gary Mabbott, and he's got a difficult task because, as we all know, Franz Carr is very, very quick.
Yes, Mabbott has now switched to Houghton's position at left back. And now very often he carries the front line, but back to the Spurs goalkeeper, Torsvett. Nigel Clough, who's the scorer of one of the goals today. Gary Parker the other, putting Forest into a 2-goal lead before Chris Waddle hit back. And here's Waddle on the ball again now for Tottenham. Oh, a lovely run by Waddle. Walker's getting across there and puts it behind for the corner. Great play again by Waddle, but equally some splendid defending again by Des Walker. Wilson performed well as a centre-back this afternoon. Torsvett had that really torrid first half. He's got a little more settled in the second. Waddle. A few whistles from the Forest fans are here. Spurs coming forward again. Butters, well, they need to get it forward quickly in these last few seconds. It's too late. The 90 minutes are up, and Forest have won its 5 successive wins now for Brian Clough's men. They move to 6th place in the table, and in this topsy-turvy season, anything is still possible for them in terms of the championship. More misery for Spurs, though, following after that cup defeat by Bradford. Parker putting Forest ahead. Clough adding the second just a minute later. And then Chris Waddle, number 9, our man of the match, bringing Spurs into the game right on